Hello everyone, this is Golnar, co-founder and CEO at Ubaste. Thanks for having me today. We are talking about from hyper casual to blockchain gaming, and I'm going to talk about hyper casual advantages, some case studies, and ideas to discover. Yeah, let's start. Okay, let's start with basics of cryptocurrency. As we know, cryptocurrency get their value from the shared belief among its investors that it actually worth something or not. If enough people agree it's valuable, then it become valuable. Like take it from here and go to hyper casual. Hyper casual games with their huge community, let's say believers, are a great potential for Web3 crypto games. Also, hyper casual developers tend to take higher risk as they have less to lose, and there's more room for experiments in a hyper casual game than a, let's say, PC game that has been developing for 5 years with best graphic and complicated game design. Additionally, when we have initial version of blockchain games, there was a huge backlash from hardcore gamers. But I think hyper casual gamers are open to simpler gameplays and social media trends. So, blockchain and NFTs can add a thin layer of engagement to the hyper casual games and help them to gain a better retention rate, which is becoming vital for hyper casual in 2023. So I think this engagement and also having room for experiment and having less to lose is something vital for, something that has an advantage for hyper casual developers. Uh, okay, so back to the question that if there is a room for hyper casual developers in the blockchain arena, there is a video here from a YouTuber that I like it so much. Let's watch it together and see how existing top blockchain games look from a gamer point of view. Let's watch it and then we will discuss it further. Here, I think. Okay.
Second best NFT game to play in 2022, Tama Doge. The link in the article takes me directly to OpenSea. So far, not a good sign. Of course, this is just another pre-sale. Looking at the game's actual website, this looks eerily similar to Robot Era. In fact, it has that same fake featured in list that we saw on Robot Era's site. Out of curiosity, I clicked this free $10 button at the top of the site because, who wouldn't want free $10? But, of course, it's only if you shill their game. What a waste of time. Browsing the subreddit shows a few posts from depressed holders expressing their discontent in the project, which appears to have gone almost completely dark. They mention a future game releasing, but show no real indication of what that game will be. I did find one screenshot of what looks like an AR Doge, but nothing else. I'm pretty sure that this was created by the exact same people as Robot Era, but I have really no way to prove that. I think what we're looking at here is the remnants of a rug pull scam with no future as a game at this point. I like to imagine that the people who gave these projects money did so not on the hopes that there would actually be a game, but they could 10x their initial investment. Regardless, they've lost their money and should really use this as a lesson to do some bare minimum research on a project before spending money on it. Number 3, Silks Online. Silks Online promises to bring horse racing to the metaverse by creating NFT clones of all real racing horses born each year in real life, allowing the NFT owners to collect revenue based on how well their horse performs in reality. Again, no game to play here. I did a quick look through the Unity Asset Store as well as on some sites like TurboSquid and CG Trader to see if I could find what models they used here, and I didn't have any luck, so at least they're using their own artwork. The team behind this game is a little harder to find, but I did manage to find their LinkedIn profiles. They do look like legitimate people, but none of the staff listed has any experience in game development. One of the team members does have experience in the gaming industry, but it's from over a decade ago, and his role was in marketing, not game design or development. As a gamer, I would really like to see the development team presented up front and center. It's certainly not uncommon for new games releasing to hype up their games with claims such as, from the developers of whatever, and listing some names of the industry veterans on their teams. Even an indie project at a bare minimum is going to have a trailer or maybe a link to the creator's itch.io page, so this is pretty sad. Digging a little deeper, I found that Silks actually has about 4 gameplay demos, but they're not really displayed anywhere on the main site. In fact, I found them by looking at the Vimeo account that the investor presentation in their white paper was uploaded by. Please enjoy this gameplay demo of Silks Online. Yep, that's the actual frame rate of the video. No, it doesn't have any sound. I think I could recreate this in maybe an hour or less, so let's go ahead and try that.
Okay. So, I think I came back to here. So I think professional gamers are so skeptical regarding game design and gameplay of existing blockchain games, which I think that's reasonable. Regarding to also next to some reliability issues, I think we are going to address these problems in other slides. But these concerns are so valid that we need to have in mind once we want to enter blockchain gaming arena. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Let's see what we had so far in hyper casual world. We start from okay. Here I have a typo. It's not where MA, it's where AM, WAM dot app is the first. So WAM is the first hyper casual play to earn crypto gaming platform and is still running. I think it's a good news. And WAM allow players to play quick hyper casual games to win crypto award in the form of NFTs and native token of WAM. Players can join any available tournament on the platform and compete against other players in a national or global scale. And to join the tournaments, players have to play an pardon to pay an entry fee in WAM coins and try to level up in the rating table as high as they can to win as many as coin as possible. So this pay entry fee or this payment might be a problem that we're going to talk about it in I think the latest project that we are discussing. Yeah, we are discussing in Tap Nation, and then you will see that how Tap Nation solved this problem. I think it was in December, so it was 1 month later that Voodoo announced $200 million investment in blockchain gaming. So Voodoo announced that they will fund early stage studios and create uh, sorry, and create 20 internal branches over the next year. So, like from the last year, we expected to see 20 studios of Voodoo in the blockchain. But it was not clear what was the ultimate goal. Maybe that's why we haven't heard so much of the Voodoo success in blockchain. Except, I mean, the biggest one was raising $1.5 million seed fund for the Volt game, the blockchain game development company. So it was like a big news. But beside that, I haven't heard like big news from Voodoo's investment. So if you've heard, like, let me know as well. So after that, it was in June of 2022 that Boombit, another hyper-casual publisher, announced launch of Boomland that aim to be a Web3 gaming platform that will focus on publishing quality games with that they were familiar with Web2 experience, and they had a like good user interface. I think that was something that was a problem we had in the video we saw, that the user interface was not something gamers used to see. So that would be easier to onboard Web2 players on its platform. So as far as I got, Boombit want to use its hyper casual experience and its gaming experience to bring a better, like from its Web2 experience, to bring a better experience to the uh, Web3 arena. Okay, and then we come to February of 2022, uh, and then we have okay, I think we need to first talk about uh, February of 2022, and then go to June. Yeah, there is a problem here. So we have this Coda platform, which is I like it so much. I think if I wanted to choose a business model here, I was going to choose Coda platform because it's a publishing platform facilitating integration of NFTs and play to earn elements through an SDK. Like I think it's just really smart. Honestly, I didn't work with it myself, but I read the documents and I think it was the document were clear and it sound working. But if someone has a experience of working with Coda platform, I really appreciate to see what was their feedback and your comments on it. So okay, Coda do the integration of NFTs and play to earn element through an SDK, which makes things much easier for developer to enter blockchain gaming. And Coda is working from February of 2022, and is also one of the platforms that is still active. Okay, we have again two other hyper casual developers here. Um, let's see, one Widow for Homa Games. That I think the Homa went the other way around, like from social media popularity to the announcement of Sorry for the interruption. I was saying about Homa Games that I think it went the other way around, from the popularity of Valentine to the announcing, issuing collectible, about 7,000 collectibles of Valentine. But of course, they were planning um, of doing so. Uh, yeah, let's go dive in again and see what we have here. Okay, we discussed it. Yeah, let's. I put a video here from someone apparently don't know Homo Games, and it's the first time reviewing Gang's character. So let's say a bit about it. Um, as I mentioned, Valentine had around I think 200 and I think 56 K followers on TikTok, and then Homa issued 7,000 collectibles of it to the users. Then Homa said its goal by focusing on the game rather than the technology. It wants a developer create more new uh, experience with the Homa Gang's character. So Homa wants developer have more assets and creatives to create better games. So yeah, let's see this guy video here that is reviewing Homa Gang collectible for the first time, and let's compare it with what we saw in the previous video.
because it does show a couple of additional collections that aren't shown on flips.finance. We have this one here, Homer Gang by Valentine, which I've been seeing a bit about. It launched 2 days ago. Apparently, these guys have got $100 million in venture capital, in funding for this. So they're a game publisher, an existing game publisher, and again, if people can do it, then the guys who have been doing Web 2 games are the guys who can probably pull off a great Web 3 game. So if you've made successful Web 2 games, your chances of making a good Web 3 game are much better. So these guys do, and they're fully doxed. They've got good funding. I must be honest, just to play open cards, I picked up 3 of these off the floor today because I do think when the market realizes what they're dealing with here, that these could run. Again, really not financial advice. I haven't seen the bank statement showing $100 million, but it is from good sources. But again, I mean, you never know in this space, really. We've seen what's happened with everything at the moment, FTX, Gemini, whatever's going on. Trust no one and don't listen to anything I say. But just telling you what I did, I picked up 3 of these because they could really, really do quite a big run if everything checks out and is released, all the information is released. So yeah, I've been watching them. Let's have a look at their Twitter once we're looking here, and we'll also just look at their activity. I wanted to do this earlier and I got distracted. I wanted to look at their Twitter. So you can see here, yesterday they launched, did 433 Ethereum, which is massive in this market, 3,800 sales. And then today, sitting at 748 sales as we stand now. We're about halfway through the day over here. Going to be interesting. Going to be interesting to see what happens when they reveal, and also interesting to see what the team is gonna bring to the table there. If we have a look here, yeah, I mean this looks pretty legit to me, guys. I mean, look at this Twitter. So you got a blue check mark. I think that Elon Musk stopped his you can buy your blue check mark. I actually don't know if he removed people who had bought it and refunded them. I assume he did, because there were people just pretending to be everyone. I know Crypto Dream did see this, but I suggested to Elon Musk that he just make the tick different color for different things. So you could have notable people have their blue tick, then you could have like people who pay for their tick have an orange tick. You could have content creators have a different color tick or whatever. Don't know why he had to remove it altogether. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Wait, he is a rocket scientist. All right. Maybe there's a reason for it. He's obviously a lot cleverer than me, but I would have just changed the color of the tick. Anyway, these guys have got 161,000 followers, which is massive. Been around since 2018. Here they've got their OpenSea, they've got their Discord. Let's check the engagement. This was on the 17th of November. Not huge engagement, to be honest. 83 comments, 111 retweets, 400 likes. Not massive. So they must have had this following before. So it's hard to know of this 100 and whatever thousand, 61,000. Probably a very small percentage are actually interested in NFTs, right? But yeah, you can see Minter's live also not a huge amount of engagement. You would expect more. That could potentially be an opportunity that people aren't aware what's going on here. If you have a look over here on their website, it looks like and I'm looking at it for the first time with you guys. Looks like a pretty clean website. I mean, nothing blowing me away, but neither anything negative. Play your own games. Here you've got the team. Over 160,000 people are working at Homer. 160 people. Our partners. Not bad. Okay, so this is obviously just the Mint website over here. It would be interesting to be able to find their main website. Here we go. Let's go onto their main website, not just their NFT. All right, there we go. So we believe in data and builders of tools that help game creators make and publish hit games with franchise potential built in. We're Homer Gaming Tech Lab that gives game creators the data. 1,000 studios and developers. Yeah, 80 plus mobile games that they've created. Over 1 billion downloads, which is a lot. Yeah, I mean, look, obviously to me, I believe it's worth the punt. 0.5 buy-in. We saw that what happened to Digi which was a very similar type thing, an existing game studio with funding. They went all the way to 10 ETH. Now I've settled, I think, at about 7 or 8.
Okay, I think that's enough what we wanted to hear. Um, yeah, what's interesting in the video for me is that I learned many blockchain gamings are kind of scams these days. So, what these guys and the other one are trying to investigate through these new collectibles are to see what's in the backstage. So they go through the website, LinkedIn, Twitter, and investors, social media, and like press release to see is it really what they say or they are just pretending to be what they say. And I think for a game company that it's been working on Web 2 arena already and has had a reliable experience. That could be something that could rely on and could be so helpful to the user to trust. And which is something that I think could help Homa a lot. Because you see there is a company for someone who doesn't know Homa at all. So there is a company that has worked before. So this it's not the first day that they are like coming to this work. Yeah. Okay. So I think we have this. Okay. Yeah. The latest maybe hyper casual publisher that announced joining blockchain, as far as I know, was a Tab Nation that announced a partnership with Ternoa. And through this partnership, players will be able to receive in game prizes that I think I mentioned in, I think, WAM it was, that player need to pay entrance fee. So this is something that um, Tap Nation and Ternoa are focusing on, and so players here will be able to receive in-game prizes, and which is capsule coin, called capsule coin. And so Tapnation wants to reduces the cost of entering into the blockchain market. So that's what Tapnation wants to focus, and because like many, there are lots of barriers for the users to enter, like, and making the first steps. So they want to offer blockchain currencies as prizes and help users make their first steps, and opening up blockchain to the audience might be cautious. So yeah, I think that's all. And we can go to the ideas here. And so we discussed so far about hyper casual and why it could be interesting for hyper casual developers and hyper casual audience to experience blockchain games. So the thing was, hyper casual audience are more open to experiment new things, and also hyper casual developers have less content and less things to lose once risking their games for the new technologies and new challenges. So this would bring a very good ground for the hyper casual developers and users to experiment new things. So when we and then we discussed about existing blockchain games and the best so-called best blockchain games in 2022, and then we saw that there are a huge gap in the gameplay and game design of these existing games from the user point of view. So what hyper casual developers already can do is partnering. I think partnering with existing blockchain game studios and help them to improve their game design and bring a better experience for the developers. Then this could bring up a more audience to this market. And from what Tap Nation did, we can learn that by bringing game design to the blockchain, we can reduce the cost of insurance, and again, we can introduce it to the bigger audience. And I think that's the ultimate goal we are looking for in the blockchain. So we can offer prizes and in like in-game prizes by NFTs and other collectibles. This is something that game studios, hyper casual game studios, can discover. And the other thing is that, like what Coda is doing, is facilitating technologies like offering SDK toolkits for developers uh, to do it like easier and entering easier to this blockchain world. So if you think that there are other ways to or other ideas to discover, I would be so happy to hear about it. So thank you, everyone. It was pleasure to talk to you. And I'm Golnar Ramesh, and I would be accessible through LinkedIn. Hope you all have a good day and enjoy.